Hey, Lulu here with Coffee Clad. So glad you could make it back to meet with me. As you know, this video, I promised to talk to you about what the number one thing is that is getting in your way of your progress, right? And how to deal with it. So first, as we're talking about getting started creating something new, I kind of like to do like a baseline and see where we're starting from.
All right, folks. Come up a little closer. Come up a little closer. Let's look this man over and see what we have here.
So this is a quick little exercise for you so that you can participate, and this doesn't have to be just a passive sit and watch me talk kind of video. I'd love it if you pulled out a paper and a pen. Just pause the video, take care of that, and let's get through this first exercise. On the top of your paper, I want you to go ahead and write your name, the date, the time, and the location you're in. Go ahead and write that on your paper. Just underneath that, I want you to write, "What I know is ... Right? Draw a line under that, and as soon as you're ready, we'll move on to the questions. So I want you to be honest with yourself. No one else is going to see this. This is just for you to see how much you know about yourself right now. Okay? Cool. Go ahead and list up to 3 things to finish each of these sentences. The first sentence is, I am. Up to 3 things. First 3 things that come to the top of your mind. The next one, I want. Now I'm going to go kind of quick so you can pause the video in between to think a little bit. I care about. 3 things you care about. 3 things that are important to you. I'm great at. 1, 2, 3, 18 things you're great at. I'm afraid of. Be honest. Remember, no one's gonna see it. This is my favorite one. I suck at. 3 things you just suck really hard at. Okay, now that you're done, go ahead and just draw a big line under all of that. All that stuff you just listed, big line under it. What I want you to write now is my biggest obstacle. Underneath that line, underneath that big line. So I told you that this training video would be able to help you identify your number 1 obstacle that's in your way. Okay, go ahead and put your paper down in front of you, the one that you just wrote all that you know about yourself on. Go ahead and close your eyes and relax for a minute. Let your mind wander wherever it wants to. You don't really have to think about anything specific right now. Just focus on breathing, relaxing. Just take a little break. If you got a little cup of coffee in front of you, have a sip of your coffee, right? But try to relax for a second. All right, now I want you to think in your mind. I want you to ask yourself this question. What is going to be my biggest obstacle in creating something new in my life? Just go ahead and ask yourself that question silently in your mind with your eyes closed. Focus for a second on the question. Okay, now place your hand on the paper in front of you. No specific place. Now I want you to open your eyes. Welcome back. Good. Now just read out loud the 2 titles that you wrote on your paper. So there should be one title at the top called What I Know Is. There should be one under that line down at the bottom that says My Biggest Obstacle. And there you have it. The number 1 obstacle that's going to get in your way of creating something new is what you already know about yourself. It's what you already know or believe that's going to trip you up. Now you're probably wondering, what about the good stuff? There's some really great stuff on that list. This doesn't have anything to do with whether it's good or bad, and I'll explain why. Consider this. Your current state of being, everything about you, everything about your life, is a direct result of what you currently believe or know about yourself. So when you go to change something or create something new, there has to be some conflict with what you already know or believe, otherwise change wouldn't be possible. Do you see? That's why it doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. So let's make it even a little more complex. These beliefs or knowns that you have about yourself, some of them are conscious, which means you can go ahead and list them just like you just did. You can recall them and you can put them in words, right? You can verbally explain them. The others, though, are subconscious, and that means they just live below your conscious level, or in other words, you're not verbally aware of them. You're not able to think them up and say them. Here's the real kicker about the subconscious ones. Your subconscious mind runs your life only 95% of the time. Yeah, I know. Ever have self-sabotage? Right, me too. What do we do about this?
All right. Come over, folks, come over. Right this way for the pathway to hell. Come up a little closer, folks. Nothing's going to hurt you. Now get away from me, boys. You're out of here.
First, I'm going to tell you how to recognize when a conflict pops up.
First of all, you must be honest with yourself. You must be able to recognize and willing to admit the symptoms of this terrible malady.
Right? If it's a conflict in your conscious knowns, it's a little bit easier because your conflicts are going to be stated verbally. They're going to come out of you verbally. They're going to be things like, my coach just doesn't understand where I'm coming from. Right? Or you're going to hear some new training and be like, that just doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's going to be, there is no way I can do that. Or, yeah, I already know that. Or, this is just too big of a risk for me right now. Or, this worked for her, but it's not going to work for me. Or, I don't want to be laughed at. Or the worst, right? This is just hokey and stupid. This is not real. So these are going to be all conflicts that you can verbalize. They're going to come up for you as a thought, right? There might be some feelings attached to them, but they're definitely going to be a thought. When something conflicts with your subconscious mind, you're going to feel it in your body, and you may not even understand or realize at the time that it is a conflict, and you likely will not be able to verbalize it. It's going to be like a sinking feeling, or just a bad feeling, or even physical illness sometimes. It can be even a disagreement with your intuition. It can come out as disgust. It can be uneasiness. It can be fear. Fear is the biggest one you're going to experience, right? And not the kind of fear where you're like, gee, I thought, I don't know. It's going to be like, oh my God, I'm sweating and my heart is pounding and there is no way in hell. But it might even come up as an urge to escape or avoid a situation, right? Sometimes even in a seminar, you'll notice that when things get a little heavy, a bunch of people get up and leave. Suddenly they gotta go to the bathroom, or they gotta get a drink, or they just gotta get out of this fucking room, right? Because it is just getting too heavy. And they might not even realize it.
He believes his own excuses.
It just might be an urge to avoid, an urge to remove oneself from that situation. So it's going to kind of become important for you to just be aware when conflicts come up. We're not going to go back and try to change all the stories, all the narratives in your life that have created your beliefs up to this point. We're not even really going to examine them, right? This can be very useful and is sometimes necessary. Some people call it therapy, and it can be a good thing, right? But alas, Coffee Clad is not that. Instead, I want to take you in a little bit more general direction. So go ahead and take a look at your paper again. Look at the things that you've written on there that you know about yourself. Now, let me ask you this. What do these knowns actually represent? Are they capital T truth, objective truth, truth that's true no matter what, true objectively without any sort of different perspective or take on it, true that's universal? Or are they little t truth, which is subjective, contextual, which does depend on the viewer or the experiencer to give it meaning? What do you think? Big T truth or little t truth? Little t truth is something that is true sometimes, but maybe not all the time. So take a look at some of the things you wrote and see if you can put a sometimes before and a but not always after, right? So sometimes I suck at writing, but not always. Do some of them make even more sense now? And there's hopefully kind of a lightening feeling when you put that sometimes in front and but not always after. Okay, now don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that your knowns aren't valid. I'm just saying that they are contextually valid. That means two things. One, there are other possibilities to be considered. Two, you are of course allowed and perhaps even driven to change. For what is growth and aging but change, right? Take those same things that you wrote, look at your answers again, and wonder, would a 10-year-old you have written the same answers? I'm gonna guess no to most of them, right? How about this? Would you now answer those in the exact same way as you did 10 minutes ago? There's something really important I want you to get here. The reason these things change like this is because you are not a fixed mindset kind of being. You are a growth mindset kind of being. Unless, of course, you make the error of clinging too firmly to those knowns.
What can I do? Wake up, boy, shake yourself. Come out of your trance.
Good news. You being a growth mindset being is what makes it possible for us to take a little bit simpler way to kind of override all these conflicting beliefs rather than trying to change every single one.
Well, Mr. McIntyre, is there anything else I can do for you and the patients? Always willing to help, you know, always willing to help.
Well, yes, there is. Why don't you tell our fellow human beings about that cure you use?
Oh, that? Well, it's very simple, and it works every time. Yes, sir, folks, right this way. Come up a little closer now, come up a little closer. I have here in my hand a bottle of that marvelous tonic, a complete cure, a sure cure, the only cure for the dread disease called mentalitis. It results.
What we're going to try to do is create a new belief or a new known that kind of loosens your grip on some of these things you already think about yourself. So here's what it is. What I know is just one of many possibilities and subject to change as needed. And as you expose yourself to further learning, you become free to explore and choose other possibilities that may be more useful in helping you reach those goals. By doing this, you're only living truer to what you already are, which is a growth mindset being. Okay, I'm going to tell you how to install this new known, right? This new miraculous overriding known. Number one, I want you to have a morning ritual. For me, you guessed it, this is my morning ritual.
Hey!
Get yourself a nice morning ritual that has some kind of connotative meaning of waking up. Like coffee, right? If you don't drink coffee, something else that means it's time to wake up to you. As you're enjoying this morning ritual, I want you to think about this moment. Remember this moment when you opened up a world of possibilities to yourself. just by reminding yourself that you are a growth mindset being and that you don't have to cling white-knuckled to your beliefs and knowns about yourself. Number 2, whenever you catch yourself having a conflict with one of your beliefs, remember to add the word sometimes before the belief and but not always after. That's going to lighten it up for you and open you up to learning another possible truth. Remember that you are a growth mindset, not a fixed one. Number 3, expand your field of possibilities by exposing yourself to more people, places, and ideas. Carefully listen to mentors and learn what it is they're trying to teach you.
He admits cheerfully that there are a lot of things he knows nothing about and is always ready to be taught. He listens to others about a subject, asks questions carefully. The answers help him form his own opinion.
Number 4, experiment by acting on new ideas, strategies, and coaching. Lighten up a little bit. Have some fun. Play with new ideas before discounting them. Don't worry, all this is printed out on a PDF for you right after you finish watching the video. So with your new belief installed, what I know is just one of many possibilities and is subject to change as needed. And by putting this practice in place that we just talked about, I have a feeling you're going to hit the ground running with your mentor's training and coaching.
If this prescription is followed faithfully, you will form the habit of smiling, of being happy, and being successful. Step right up, folks. Get 'em while they last. The wonderful Get Results Tonic, only $10 a bottle, and who'll be the first month? Right, that's the point. It's going to be a gold mine.
Wait a minute. None of that, old fella. You're double-crossing me now. You better get along and take your well-earned place in history. Would have been a gold mine, folks. This tonic is worth $10,000 a bottle. A man who has mentalitis. Figure it out over a period of years. After all, a person who is getting results, regardless of what his work or position in life may be, is the happiest and the most successful. Recognize the symptoms, human beings, and form the habit of getting results.
Go ahead and click on the link just below this video and it'll take you to your PDF with a full printout of the transcript, as well as the exercises we did and an added exercise on mental flexibility. I hope you enjoyed our time together today and you're well on your way to becoming coffee clad. Until next time.